Okay, good afternoon. We are actually in the Georgia Club kitchen today with Executive Chef Chris Rountree, who's going to show us a nice quick meal that we can prepare easily at home.
Absolutely. This is a simple pasta dish that it sounds complicated, but it's probably one of the easiest things you can do at home. So I'm just going to get right into it, and I'll explain the ingredients as I go. But you definitely want to start with a hot pan. I like to keep my pan on medium-high just so as not to burn anything immediately. But we're going to start with a little bit of blended oil. This is a little soybean oil and canola oil blend. Any kind of oil will do fine. And then first we're going to add a little bit of freshly chopped garlic. And the reason we do this is because we want to get the garlic nice and toasty. If you don't get your garlic toasty, you really don't get much flavor out of it. So once that's toasty, which it doesn't take long at all, we're going to add some chopped onions. And then immediately, so we don't burn our garlic, we're going to add a little bit of white wine. But as always, you want to move it away from the flame.
It smells good.
Away from the flame so it doesn't flare up on you.
Okay.
That is dangerous, and it has happened before many people.
But not to you, right?
Now, we let that simmer just a little bit because we want that wine to kind of reduce down a little bit. We're just kind of layering flavors here. So we got the toasty garlic, we got the onions, we got the wine that's going to sweeten it up a little bit. And you don't want it to completely evaporate, but for the most part, you want it to be almost dry. I'll check as the French call it. Now we have some heavy cream, heavy whipping cream. And we're just going to add maybe about a half cup of that to that. And once again, I'm going to turn my burner down here a little bit. Because I want it to simmer, I don't want it to boil over too easily, I don't want it to reduce too fast. I want all the flavors to kind of marinate with each other. In the meantime, I have some pre-blanched linguini right here, and this kind of helps us on the line just to be faster, but you can do this at home. It keeps up to 5 or 6 days in the fridge, and in order to heat it up, I've got some hot water right here.
Okay. When you say pre-blanched, how long did you cook that for originally?
It doesn't take long, maybe about 8 minutes, maybe even less, just to get it a little less than al dente, so that once you finally do put it in your pasta, it's perfectly cooked. So we're getting close on here. We don't want it too thick because we want a little bit of runniness to it. We don't want it too thin because we don't want it to run all over the place, of course. But I like to put my pasta in there too right before it's ready to go, because then the pasta kind of soaks up some of the sauce as well.
Okay.
So make sure you drain your noodles very well before you put them in there. And with anything, a little bit of salt, a little bit of white pepper. And white pepper because, instead of black pepper I should say, is you really don't want little black specks in something that's supposed to be white.
Okay.
And as you can see, the noodles have kind of soaked up a lot of that cream I put in there. So I'm going to add just a touch more. And then probably the most important ingredient Parmesan cheese. And if you can buy in blocks, this is great. If you can only buy the pre-shredded stuff, it works just as well, but this has a little better flavor. So we're just going to grate some of that right in there.
Good.
Okay, a little or as much as you like. Once again, not too runny, not too thick. Okay, and now that we're about perfect on this Linguini Alfredo, we're going to do a little plate presentation for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to step around the side of the table so I can show you a little more perfectly. To get a nice presentation, we always kind of spin the pasta in the middle of the bowl, and that way it stands up.
Oh, very good.
And now it looks pretty plain, doesn't it? So we want to garnish it, of course, with something. Classically, Alfredo is traditionally and classically with nutmeg. So this is the best kind. You can buy the already grated nutmeg, but I find that the whole cloves, or the whole pieces of nutmeg have much better flavor. So we're just going to do a little bit of that over the top, not too much because it can be overpowering. We're going to do a little bit of fresh chopped parsley. And then, once again, the best part, more cheese.
Yum.
And you can add anything you like to this. You can add some fresh vegetables. You can add chicken, steak, shrimp, any kind of seafood you like. I mean, it's a basic recipe that lends itself to all kinds of additions. So.
Terrific. Well, it sure smells good, Chef, and I'm sure it tastes as equally as good. We certainly appreciate your time, and we will see you next week.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.